Yes, I need definitely because I'm in the family.
Sorry.
Oh, bless you.
Mm. Hey, Alan, anything I just I'll just keep looking in your general direction now, basically. So wherever you stand, yeah,
Always look
Yeah,
at
you
this one.
just look at master unless I request Alan to like
move, yeah,
tell you.
When I move, it will be really obvious one.
yeah. When you move, then I'll just follow you. Yeah.
Okay. Test, test, test.
Test.
Okay. Sound check. Sound check. Hi everyone. Welcome back to my walk. Hi, hi everyone. Welcome back to my walk, my choice. Woo! The show that discusses about issues and problems one may face in life, and we try to provide solutions to them. I'm your host, Jin, coming to you live from UCSI Media and Broadcasting Center. Thank you all for tuning in to our second and final episode. Hope you all enjoyed last week's episode, and it was certainly fun for me. And I hope for our last episode, yeah, we're gonna end it off on a high note. So, what are we gonna be talking about today? Okay. All right.
I'd say 6 months ago that I was pretty much a typical teenager.
I had this.
And I feel like her stress has been amplified now that, like, with quarantine and stuff like that, not being able to see her also makes it worse because we can't really.
Even creating a video 5 years.
Hi everyone, welcome back to My Walk, My Choice. Woo! The show that discusses about issues and problems one may face in life, and we try to provide some solutions for them. I'm your host, Jin, coming to you live from our beautiful UCSI Media and Broadcasting Center. So thank you all for tuning in to episode 2 of our show. So I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode, and it was certainly fun for me. And sad to say, today will be our final episode. Yes, our second episode is our last episode. Such sad, such pain, but it's okay. I hope that we can still see each other in the future. But I hope that for our last episode today, we can end it off on a high note. So, for our last episode, what are we going to talk about today? Any guesses? So, for today's episode, we're going to be talking about staying mentally healthy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows what mental health is, right? But for those of you who don't know, mental health is basically something, well, it is something, okay, but mental health includes our emotional, psychological and social well-being, and it can affect how we feel, think, and perform or do things in life, right? So, why is it important to be mentally healthy? Why is it such a big deal in today's day and age, right? I have no clue, right? So to find out more why mental health is such an important issue, especially among young people today, we have a video prepared for you. So take it away.
I'd say 6 months ago that I was pretty much a typical teenager.
I had this like anxiety and stress of like school.
Stress between school and extracurricular activities.
My mental health was better than it had been in a long time.
I was pretty happy most of the time.
I was just waiting to hear back from colleges, very excited. But,
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
The coronavirus is a pandemic.
Many schools around the world, as you know, have shut down.
It's going to have a huge impact.
Right now, with the coronavirus and quarantine and everything, I'd say I've kind of retreated to a more isolated version of myself.
I definitely feel a little more frustrated and sad.
You start to worry about your future, and you start to worry about, am I ever going to see my friends again?
I'd say especially in the months right before the virus, I was really branching out at my new school and making connections, but I do feel as if I've fallen back.
Just really not knowing how things are going to turn out and just rethinking your future and your life, and it really took a toll on me.
What's been worrying me the most during the pandemic has been getting sick, or my family members getting sick.
I'm very, concerned about being a carrier of the virus or bringing it home or spreading it between people by going out.
When you're isolated by yourself, you're really just alone with your thoughts.
I've never said this before, but I miss school. I'm worried that it's just going to extend longer and longer, the closure.
I definitely know a lot of people who are struggling with depression and anxiety.
Especially, I think, for transgender people, I've been hearing from my friends, looking at your own body image in like a camera or listening to your voice, especially for people that haven't made transitions yet, is very dysphoria producing.
I do have some friends that suffer from some mental health issues, and they do seem a lot more down now because of the virus.
I also have a friend who has some family troubles, and I feel like her stress has been amplified now that, like, with quarantine and stuff like that, not being able to see her also makes it worse because we can't really talk about it, and I can't really comfort her the way I would be able to if we see each other face to face.
I do think that it's possible that technology does play a role in the fact that my generation is more likely to suffer from mental health issues.
My, 15 years old and younger self was very much influenced by social media and seeing people live their perfect lives.
I feel like sometimes that might make people seem like, oh, that person has like a wonderful life.
I think social media can absolutely help build connections between kids.
I constantly message friends, I see their posts, I like their posts. I like to keep up with what they're doing, especially now in a time where I'm not with them every day like I would be in school.
I have family members from other countries, so it's helpful to talk to them.
Technology is just evolving in our day-to-day lives now, Zoom and social media, and I'm very grateful for that.
I would tell a person younger than me who's struggling with a mental health issue like anxiety that even if it feels safer to keep to yourself, to ask for help.
Take a little break off of social media because it does have a lot of sensitive content on there.
This isn't the end of the world. You're gonna get through this.
Even creating a vision board of what you want to do 5 years from now, will really motivate you.
All right, that was a wonderful video, wasn't it? I hope you guys were able to learn more about the importance of a good mental health, especially for young people. So, for you youngsters out there, I'm gonna try to offer up some ways to achieve good mental health. So, and bear with me on this. So one of the ways that you can achieve good mental health is through exercise, right? I know like some of you guys probably are cringing, oh, exercise, oh, that's so cliche, oh, do I have to like get up from my wheelchair, get up off of my computer, but yes, it's actually very important. Do you guys know why? Because exercise, other than, keeping it helps to maintain a healthy, maintain your muscles, maintain your skeletal structure, the integrity of your bones, but it also helps to release endorphins in your brain. So endorphins are important chemicals that help regulate your brain function. And it's often associated with feelings of euphoria and happiness, which is why exercise is very, very important. Secondly, the second way that I would like to suggest you all is to have a proper diet. Yes, I know we keep hearing, you should eat less junk food, blah, 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 but junk food tastes so good. I know, but you gotta have some self-control, man, because eating well is essential to maintaining a healthy gut, and a healthy gut is important in maintaining a healthy brain, which is why you should put down that can of soda and put down your McDonald's and start eating well. Right, so, and the third and final way that I know a lot of you might cringe at it is to have a consistent sleeping schedule. Yes, who knew that sleeping is important for your mental health? Because sleeping acts as a reset button for your brain. Because after a long day of work, you're tired, you're worn out, but sleeping helps to reset everything into that great phase so that you can, go another day. Without sleep, none of us would be sane, right? And being sane is especially important when it comes to having a good mental health. So, I'm sure many of you are watching are from university, so we have an important video coming up next to show you that stresses about the importance of good mental health. So, take it away.
Like as of now, I'm still struggling with it. So since it's been a year and a half, I've been here, and then I'm not been to homeland. So yeah, it does affect us, and it does affect our studies as well.
Yeah, so I've been here for about 4 years now, and definitely through this time I've had some issues with loneliness and depression. But luckily for me, I went to a college for the first 2 years of my life here, so I met a couple of friends that I kept those relationships quite close. Over here, one of the things that Monash does provide is some very, very good counselling, and it's done it through the system here through Monash Connect, and it's free. So they have some very good counselling services there, and they're really quite awesome. They're very, very easy to get along with, very easy to talk to, and they actually do help you out quite a lot.
Sure. When I'm preparing for the final exam, and I feel very stressed for the subjects, and sometimes after my study, I have no one to talk. At that time, I feel very lonely and think about my family.
I spend most of the time being at university so that I can meet my friends and then spend a lot of time studying along with them. And sometimes I do feel like going out with them so that that depression thoughts doesn't come into my mind. So it helps me to get relief from that.
So yeah, as I say, I was talking to a couple of my friends about these issues, talking to your friends does help with this quite a lot. Talking to somebody else, if you don't want to talk to your friends necessarily about your problems, you feel like sometimes you don't want to impose on them, you can talk to a counsellor here, and it's like, you can just talk to a blank wall, and they just sit there, they listen, and then you walk out of it feeling a little bit better than you did when you walked in, so it does work out quite nicely.
I heard that some of my friends asking the psychologist for help, but to me, I think my family know about me, so I prefer to talk with them because they can touch my inner heart, I
guess
think.
it depends on the issues, to be honest. So I mean, the smaller kind of issues I'll be very, very easy to talk to my friends about. And I mean, the closer my friends are, the more important the issues I feel like I can talk to them about. But then when it comes to something which I feel like, you know, maybe it's just me, something that I don't want to impose on my other friends, something like Monash Connect really does suffer something like that. So I feel like you've got different benefits with different people. So I figure whatever your issues are, there's always somebody you can talk to about it.
Okay, so after watching that video, I'm sure everyone now understands the importance of mental health and how young adults also actually suffer from poor mental health due to a variety of reasons, be it relationship problems, family issues, and also stress from school. And trust me, I know the pains of being a university student. And sometimes school can make you feel stressed, anxious, or depressed, you know. So experts also agree, you know, recently experts and researchers like to use the term such as epidemic and crisis to characterize the mental health challenges that are currently faced by the youth of today. So statistics also seem to back up these claims. According to a research in 2019 done by universities throughout America, the research found that 60% of university students reported feelings of anxiety and depression, which is pretty high, right? So that means that, some math, 6 out of 10 people feel that way? Yeah, that's a pretty high number, right? So yeah, so it's a pretty common thing, and this depression is especially an important issue in this day and age, right? Because people who have depression normally feel that they're alone, you know, that they have no one to turn to, right? And that's sad, right? But it's important to understand for people who are depressed out there, is you need to understand that you're not alone, and there are people out there who care for you. So people who suffer from depression should try to seek out help as much as possible, and it is important that schools also provide these resources, as they are important, such as, you know, health clinics, counselors, or even just call centers for students to call, you know, in case they're facing anything. And with that, we come to the end of our first segment. We'll be back with part 2 of our episode, and I'll see you soon. Welcome back to My Walk, My Choice. I hope everyone is having a great time. I certainly am. So we're almost at the end of our show, sadly. But before we begin part 2 of our episode, so let me recap. In part 1, we've talked about the importance of staying mentally healthy. So for part 2, any guesses? I'll give you guys a clue. So it actually has something to do, or is somewhat related to, or it's actually something that can affect our mental health. Anyone care to take a guess? Oh wait, sorry, I forgot. It's just me alone in this void. So today, for the last segment, we're going to be talking about being stressed is normal. What? Stress is normal? Well, wow, that's certainly a surprise. So I know that stress is normally something that we associate negatively. You know, it's something that's bad, that's not good, right? But apparently, a lot of research has been done, and it has shown that stress can actually be good. And I'm sure many people have experienced stress before in their lives, right? So in that sense, I guess it's normal. But is it normal, or is it actually normal to, you know, constantly feel stressed? And can it actually be good for you? Well, to find out more, we have a video prepared for you, so don't go anywhere.
Are you sleeping restlessly, feeling irritable or moody, forgetting little things, and feeling overwhelmed and isolated? Don't worry, we've all been there. You're probably just stressed out. Stress isn't always a bad thing. It can be handy for a burst of extra energy and focus, like when you're playing a competitive sport or have to speak in public. But when it's continuous, the kind most of us face day in and day out, it actually begins to change your brain. Chronic stress, like being overworked or having arguments at home, can affect brain size, its structure, and how it functions, right down to the level of your genes. Stress begins with something called the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal axis, a series of interactions between endocrine glands in the brain and on the kidney, which controls your body's reaction to stress. When your brain detects a stressful situation, your HPA axis is instantly activated and releases a hormone called cortisol, which primes your body for instant action. But high levels of cortisol over long periods of time wreak havoc on your brain. For example, chronic stress increases the activity level and number of neural connections in the amygdala, your brain's fear center. And as levels of cortisol rise, electric signals in your hippocampus, the part of the brain associated with learning, memories, and stress control, deteriorate. The hippocampus also inhibits the activity of the HPA axis, so when it weakens, so does your ability to control your stress. That's not all though. Cortisol can literally cause your brain to shrink in size. Too much of it results in the loss of synaptic connections between neurons and the shrinking of your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that regulates behaviors like concentration, decision-making, judgment, and social interaction. It also leads to fewer new brain cells being made in the hippocampus. This means chronic stress might make it harder for you to learn and remember things, and also set the stage for more serious mental problems like depression and eventually Alzheimer's disease. The effects of stress may filter right down to your brain's DNA. An experiment showed that the amount of nurturing a mother rat provides its newborn baby plays a part in determining how that baby responds to stress later in life. The pups of nurturing moms turned out less sensitive to stress because their brains developed more cortisol receptors, which stick to cortisol and dampen the stress response. The pups of negligent moms had the opposite outcome, and so became more sensitive to stress throughout life. These are considered epigenetic changes, meaning that they affect which genes are expressed without directly changing the genetic code. And these changes can be reversed if the moms are swapped. But there's a surprising result. The epigenetic changes caused by one single mother rat were passed down to many generations of rats after her. In other words, the results of these actions were inheritable. It's not all bad news though. There are many ways to reverse what cortisol does to your stressed brain. The most powerful weapons are exercise and meditation, which involves breathing deeply and being aware and focused on your surroundings. Both of these activities decrease your stress and increase the size of the hippocampus, thereby improving your memory. So don't feel defeated by the pressures of daily life. Get in control of your stress before it takes control of you.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and from what I can tell, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to indicate that too much stress is not a good thing, but with a healthy amount of stress, right, it can be a good thing, you know, if you know how to use it, you know, in a good way. And surprisingly, stress does have some good attributes about it. Wow, shocking, right? So, according to a Times article called How Some Stress Can Actually Be Good for You, stress, surprisingly, yeah, as it states, can be good. So, the article says that stress can act as a sort of reminder, you know, that we care, and it connects us directly with the most challenging aspects of our lives. So I'm not suggesting that sustained, you know, constant stress doesn't take a toll on you. It certainly does, but with a healthy amount of it, with the right amount of it, it can bring benefits to you in your life. It can offer, you know, drive, you know, motivation for you to do something well and to perfect something. And from my personal experience, yeah, I guess it's sort of true, you know. I found that individuals who adopt a stress-enhancing mindset, right, tend to, you know, do better work, you know, their work performance is usually better, and they tend to care more about what they're doing in a sense. But that doesn't mean that it's healthy to always be like that, you know. You need to be able to, you know, balance it, you know. You have to be relaxed, but not too relaxed at the same time, you know. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and to find out more, we actually have another video prepared for you about stress where we interview random people on the streets.
Stress. Everyone experiences it both at work and in their personal lives. It's often caused by changes in the world around us that we can't control. But what we can control is how we cope with and react to stress. Let's take a look at some strategies for dealing with it. Make time for hobbies and self-care. When we're stressed, we have a tendency to focus on the things that are stressing us out, and we lose sight of taking care of ourselves. It's important to find some time in your schedule to relax or do what you enjoy. This can give you a renewed sense of energy and well-being. Use time management skills. There may be times where projects and tasks just start to pile up and you feel trapped under it all. This could be due to procrastinating or taking on too much work. Try listing out your tasks and prioritizing them. This can make it easier to get through them, and who knows, you may even find some tasks that are unnecessary or that you can delegate to others. Exercise. Stress often makes us tired and increases our anxiety. Studies have shown that over time, exercise can help to reduce anxiety levels and make you feel more energetic. Find an activity that you enjoy, whether it's walking, swimming, or something else, and try fitting it into your schedule a few times a week. Remove unnecessary sources of stress. While you can't control the changes that happen to you, there may be certain stressors that you can eliminate. For example, you could try limiting your access to daily news, spending less time on social media, or reducing the number of new projects you take on. While stress is inevitable, it's important to remember that there are always ways of managing it and improving the quality of your life.
And we're back. So, to sum up this segment of our show, I think it's safe to say, and I hope that you're convinced that stress is a normal psychological and physical reaction, especially towards positive or negative situations in our lives. For example, such as, you know, getting a new job, or getting married. We all feel stress in these situations, and stress isn't inherently bad or good. It all depends on how you use it and how you manage it per se. So, I'm here. How do you manage a healthy amount of stress? Well, I'm gonna try to offer some ways for you to do that. So, not surprisingly, the ways of managing stress levels is actually quite similar to managing good mental health. So, to better manage stress, I suggest that you eat well, sleep regularly, and exercise regularly. Yeah, it's very cliche, but in this case, the cliches are pretty true. So, yeah, you should do these 3 things. I actually have something for you today that I think is actually quite useful, and you guys might not expect it from a person like me. So, I think that yoga, especially yoga breathing, helps so much when it comes to decreasing stress. So I'm gonna do some yoga right now. All right, so every one of you who feels stressed right now, I need you to close your eyes, relax, let go of yourself. Breathe in through your nose and breathe into your stomach. Don't move your chest. Breathe. Hold it. And hold it. And let go. Now, that was a pretty weird segue. Did you expect yoga on our show? No, right? So I hope you guys found that useful. It certainly does help a lot for me, and I think that, other than just breathing, eating well, sleeping well, or exercising, you guys should probably also, for those with more serious stress conditions or mental health issues, you should try to speak to someone. Especially, it's important, like we mentioned in the last episode, to have a healthy support system. Have someone to talk to. Talking helps a lot. They might not offer you, a solution to your problems, but talking about it helps to, release some of that stress or anxiety that you're feeling inside. So, okay, with all that said, I think we're almost at the end of our show. Wow, it's been a long journey, but it's been a wonderful experience for me. I hope you guys had a wonderful, enjoyed everything about our show. And before we go, I'd like to thank everyone involved in our production. Thank you so much. Without all of you guys, none of this would be possible. And thank you all. Goodbye.